LeBron's a free agent, the league's in despair. His son's in the draft, man, this shit ain't fair. Luka's on lock, breaking ankles every fucking night. Celtics blasting Pacers, taking their best shot. The NBA's in chaos, the draft looks like shit. The NFL is looking fire, the futures can't miss. Baseball's a joke and everyone top to bottom, from umpires to bad calls. Fuck Angel Hernandez and the horse he rode in on. NFL's ablaze with rookies taking charge. Veteran QBs can't keep up, they're at large. The young blood's rising, it's a brand new game. Legends falling down, rookies making names. MLB's a mess, umpires out of line. Every call's a scandal, it's a waste of time. A roller coaster ride, a train wreck for sure. Fans in disbelief, they can't take no more. The NBA's in chaos, the draft looks like shit. The NFL is looking fire, the futures can't miss. Baseball's a joke and everyone top to bottom, from umpires to bad calls. Fuck Angel Hernandez and the horse he rode in on. From NBA's drama to NFL's new stars, MLB's disasters, they're pushing too far. A sports world in turmoil, what the fuck's next? Hold on tight, it's a crazy wild flex.
Woo! Welcome back, Charles. Lead us right into what the fuck we're going to talk about today.
Oh, I'm already upset.
I'm already ready. You're already ready with this one?
So this is pre-show chatter, and at one point we were like, just start it. We're going to jump right into it, screen share and everything. When we started the show, or when we first got in and we were chit-chatting, I was upset. MLB isn't going to implement the robot umpires until after the 2025 season, unfortunately. And we were looking into a few stats. I'll throw them your way. So in the 2024 MLB season, umpires have maintained a nearly, so 93%, not 94, 93% accuracy rating when it comes to balls and strikes, according to the Twitter page you're seeing right here. This is their Twitter page, but according to the unofficial metric keeper ump scorecards. Now, I've looked into them. I've got nothing upset at all to say about it. I might even become a subscriber because this is pretty interesting. How
about bring up the fact of that date in the upper right corner?
Oh, the 25th.
That was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
So this is as recent as it gets.
Yeah.
This is going on.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
This figure represents a slight decrease from previous years, and again, the internet is kind. So their slight decrease is just like their nearly accuracy rating. So I believe in previous years they were more like 95 to 96, closer to the 96 side. Right now we're 93, closer to the 94, but it's not looking great. We are on pace for the historic year that was 2015. Baseball took a really long time to recover after that, if I remember correctly. In fact, it took them having to change the game in its entirety to bring extra people in. Every Friday at the Brewers Stadium at the Clamshell there, if you're a Wisconsin resident, 50% off. Just go have a good time, right? So baseball is swirling, and now something we also talked about was like the super frustrating thing, and his name is very difficult, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not saying it, but the Cubs superstar pitcher who's rocking like a 0.89. Thank you, my friend, our resident Cubs fan. We should be talking about this gentleman destroying the MLB right now. Things like the Kansas City Royals, who's looking like they got their foot in their mouth right now. Don't take the over on the 75. That's crazy. They got 34 wins already.
When in your life would you ever think about having to look at the umpire before you watch a baseball game on TV just because you don't want to watch a bad baseball game?
Wait, that I definitely see who's umping. First inning or two, like I'm over, I turn the channel. But now, due to MLB's ridiculous blackout rules and their ridiculous stranglehold on national television, I don't even watch the games. I listen to them on the MLB app. And it's allowed me to continue enjoying baseball for a little bit, but I don't know how much longer I can enjoy baseball.
To answer the pitcher's guy's name, his name is Shota Imanaga.
He is my guy. Absolutely.
So, he is my guy. He is my guy.
To speak on your point, like, I have the MLB Pass too. because
Yes,
I
sir.
live in Texas, so I don't have the local channels to watch my Cubs play.
Yes, sir.
The only frustrating thing is I also don't have cable. I have other means to watch sports, but when I'm
Right.
in my office and I want to watch my guys, I want to watch it in the presence of my shit.
Yeah.
And so when it's on live television and I can't watch it because it's on ESPN or some shit like that, it's a local live or national broadcast, it's blacked out on the MLB pass. So I have to listen to it if I'm in the 1920s over the radio. And it's frustrating, but it's
And the MLB radio voices need help. Like the Bob Uecker days are gone, and I don't understand how. Like, you grew up listening to these legends.
give me some character.
Then we get no character, but we're a little sidetracked now. That we yell at this is the MLB's a fucking disaster, and just the song
It's going
said,
downhill if they keep going at this route. Like it's
I mean,
to see this screen share that you have right here. You're telling me again. We've talked about this. I see it hugging the line. I get it.
Guess what Charles brought up, the accuracy, the 92%. This is basically
You're
a typical
missing.
Major League Baseball umpire game right here.
You're missing. That's how many. That's how many. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 missed calls that should have. You could have gone half and half, but majority of those could have been strikes, if not all of them.
Right.
14 missed calls.
14 missed calls.
He missed 2 and oh wow, no, I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 14 to 19 missed calls. We're new to this. I'm still trying to figure out their math, but it's at least 14, upwards of 19 terrible calls.
And look at the impactful missed calls.
Yes. Bring that up. Bring that up right there.
You got bottom of the 6,
Yep.
2-2 count. You strike the third strike that should have been a strike, which is right here to the left or my right, however you see it, the number 1 ball.
Yeah, number 1.
It could have been a strikeout, but you called it a ball. Second major call, bottom of the 6, 0-2 count, strikes called a ball. Bottom of the 6, 0-2 count, strike is called a ball.
So it's 11. So those individual numbers are altering game altering calls. That's what we're
those
looking at.
could have made the game go either way.
Game altering calls, or it made it go the way it wasn't supposed to. That's how I'm reading this, right? That's how I'm reading this. 11 of 99 called balls were true strikes.
The accuracy, 8 out of 38 called strikes were true balls.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yep. Game altering. So now, the reason I ended up looking into this, because I'm like, wait a minute. It doesn't make for good radio if we're all on here eating off the same damn hot dog. So multiple times, either myself, Paul, Patrick, or Mike when he was here and when he comes back, tend to dig into the other side heavily to ensure better conversation. So I took the deep dive. I'm like, there's this human element. Let me try and figure it out. And I started to understand it on the better games, but then the more I'm looking into this fucking season, there is no human element. What I was looking for, because as we see and as we're scrolling,
Many blown calls.
I'm not looking for get this fucker out of here, get that fucker out of here, and this fucking side out of here. You just down here, I get this.
Those
right
are half
here,
and half. Those are 50-50 balls. I give you
get
those.
this. Because guess what? As a pitcher, I can fucking stay away from there.
A ball halfway in the zone is a 50-50 ball. That is a judgment call.
I
100%.
get that. But when you're literally outside the box
and you're all over,
you're blind.
You're all over.
To explain that to people listening, the baseball, we're going to take this mathematically, it's the size of the baseball is about 3 inches wide. So that ball is almost 2 ball widths outside of that zone. So you're talking a ball 6 inches out of the zone. Clearly, if you missed that, you just didn't see the pitch.
Right.
And there's also
that's what I'm taking from it.
Absolutely. And again, too, like here's a little human element that I'm just digging into, and I'm realizing, top of the first, Olsen to Turner, 2 outs, bases loaded. Strike is called a ball. Top of the second, Kirk comes in, gets the same call, probably chirps to the umpire,
Gets thrown
who
out.
later on in the game then Same thing happens to him. He looks at him and goes, "Why don't you shut your mouth next time?" And the rest of the game's perfect.
But he did Kirk twice.
He doesn't say
Kirk
Kirk
twice.
pissed
We
him
did him
off.
dirty twice.
Kirk pissed him off in the second. He came back and fucked him in the third.
Here's the problem. I know Kirk is a catcher as well. So he probably was on the other end of this, getting those as strikes on his end of the deal.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, as
but
pitchers, you can't talk to the umps crazy while you're pitching, especially if it's early on in the game and you're getting fucked because you get the risk getting tossed.
And again, as I've been digging into this, Roberto Ortiz is one of the names y'all should hold on to on the good. He's had many great games this year. He's been a part of the 96 to 98%. There's 4 or 5 that are doing wonderfully. There's just 11 that are in trash.
I'm like, I can give you 3 missed calls.
This only has three
So
balls
I'm
on those.
he didn't. Again, I'm not saying that he changed or made the game go a different route. Like
Absolutely.
3 missed calls, I'm mad, but I'm not holding you to the flame. But if you're averaging between 10 to 15 missed calls behind the plate. We're just talking about the umpire behind the plate. We're not talking about third, first, left, or right field. They're not included in this conversation right now. Right. If you got 3, I'm cool. I'm upset, but I can go to bed okay. But if you're averaging between 10 to 15 missed calls, that dictates
that's
dictating a game.
Over 1 an inning. Well over 1 an inning. You're getting 1 per half inning on this dude.
Like,
this dude's got them all over the place.
Laz Diaz. That's a name that's consistently below 94%.
These scores are way too close for you to be able to miss these 3-5.
You're talking, yeah.
Charles and I said we could live with the 95%. The 95% I can live with.
95 to 96.
High 94. Those balls that are hugging the line or just right outside the box, I get it. I am not completely upset with that. But if you can clearly see when they do the replay that it's about a good 3-4 inches off the box, like you're blinded.
Especially lower high.
This was, by the way, this was the game. Saturday.
The one the pop fly?
Yeah.
That was the most stupidest call.
Yeah.
I got this guy on.
Yeah.
So just
the guy you're talking about, that guy.
Yeah.
That
I'm
guy.
talking about a guy that's related to. I swear he has to be related to Angel Hernandez because his username is Alberto Hernandez. And if you're watching this any day of the week, I promise you, I'm going to clip this and I'm going to repost it just for you. He is saying that how is this calling him out wrong? These are the rules. The umps made the right call.
The rule is if you stand in a baseline and you impede the movement of the guy, here's the thing. The guy catching the pop fly was moving into him as he was standing off of second base. It wasn't like he was even trying to go to third base.
He's walking back to second base.
Yeah,
and
he stood for a second.
And he moved out the way.
Mm-hmm. So, and even Henderson looked around. What did they just call? Like,
there's a big elephant in the room, though.
What's that?
It's impossible for the runner to impede the defender from acquiring the out on an infield fly rule.
So again, it was going to be an automatic out.
The fucker was out anyways.
So then this fucker decided
infield fly was called, and then the dude was like, "Yeah, no interference."
Yeah, the only thing he could have screwed himself. Only thing he could have did is screwed himself at second by not paying attention, and then them tagging him out. That's the only thing that would have went wrong.
The
dude could have fucking WWE's goddamn Goldberg. The dude.
It was already
out to the ground. He was already out. It didn't matter.
Infield fly, and for the people that don't know that. If I'm not mistaken, it's first and second base, already has a runner, and it's 1 out or 2 out. It's 1 out. Regardless, it's up,
you just need a base runner.
You just need a base runner. Pops up inside the field, inside, not outfield, inside the diamond.
Not like the playoff game with the Atlanta Braves here.
Inside the field, it's the infield. It's an automatic. It's an automatic out. Nobody moves. Nothing.
Yeah.
Only for the runner to first.
So for those of you in the comment section, that was brought to our attention super early, right?
Moron.
Like, we knew immediately you didn't understand baseball at all, which is fine. We're here
to educate
for you. We tell you to message us or comment all the time.
He doubled down. He doubled down.
He doubled down.
He doubled down.
Okay, did he comment? He commented
he
again.
Said he was the worst because I shared the video of Angel Hernandez that we had a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Goes, that's my uncle. He's the worst umpire. He has the worst strike zone of any umpire. Now back to the topic at hand. This was called exactly how it states in the rule book. End of story. Case closed. So he's 10 toes down, standing on business. He is the only person in this comment section that is saying that this was a good call. There's no, again.
Why can't you just admit that he made the wrong call? I don't care if that was my dad out there. If it's a wrong call, it's a wrong call.
Like,
in fact, I like calling out bullshit.
Stop him from even if there was no infield fly rule, there was no way that he impeded him from stopping from catching that ball in any way, shape, or form at all. Because he ended up catching the ball regardless. So how did he interfere?
Okay. Let's put it in perspective. Let's put it in perspective. The only way it would have been interference had the ball literally been almost landing on the second base, and he pushed him out of the way to get onto second base. That's the only way it would have been interference.
It's not like Aaron Judge was giving a high five to a baseball here.
Sure, but that's not interference.
Did you see the finger curl on that as well? Did you see this? Did you happen to see this? Everybody said he does that all the time when he runs into second. He does this every time he runs into second base.
He ain't done that again since.
Oh man, people are dumb. Just dumb sometimes.
Like we understand the human element.
Yeah.
We grew up with baseball, okay? It's not like we're trying to get the baseball changed. But what we were watching growing up is not this. This sport would have never lasted. Arguably, though, to add to the Vegas thing, I understand why MLB is dragging their feet.
Yeah.
Because if I'm rocking a parlay and I'm looking at what I think is a guarantee, and then old boy comes up and goes plus 153 towards Oakland, fucks me on. You ain't losing money. You ain't never losing money on that if you're Vegas.
That's your fault for wanting to gamble, right?
Yeah, you ain't never losing money on that. Vegas is never losing when the umpires go plus 5 in the other, plus 0.5 plus in the other direction.
No, they got money both ways, so it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely. So
if anything, they're probably laughing.
So you know what I did instead?
Themselves.
I watched F1 Monaco today. And I've got a new dream for the show, bro.
What's that?
I got to look up a couple of numbers real quick, but do you know that there was 171 super yachts parked in Monaco like all week?
Now, what is the definition of a super yacht?
Probably over multi-million-dollar yacht. They're big. They're like small cruise ships, right?
Is it like the yachts that got a helipad on the back?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
One guy showed up with a fucking Bugatti, bro.
Hold on. Paul, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I haven't done it. This is another thing about baseball I love. I used to remember listening to a few baseball announcers that used to do this live.
The days of, and I'm glad you brought that up too, before we jump to F1.
The days of announcers drinking live on the air.
Well, just the Bob Uecker days are over.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it because I have, for the last week and a half, this had a lot to do with me getting super pissed off at my cable company and saying, take all the cable out of my house.
I haven't had cable in 7 years.
Yeah, I'll never have it again. There's no point. The one thing that held me for a few weeks was baseball. I'm telling you this right now, because I couldn't watch baseball anywhere else except national television, which, whatever. Then baseball started to do their thing and it fucking dropped it downhill. So now for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I've been listening to baseball. And the one thing I can tell you is, man, I will fall asleep much faster listening to it with the windows open than I would watching it with the windows open, which I didn't mind that. You fall asleep by the third inning, wake up just before the eighth, catch the end of the game, and a small recap of what happened. That's cool. Now it's just like you had mentioned, PR, in pre-show, there's just no character.
Yeah.
They've got no character. They're just back there.
The entertainment value is gone, and it's just meh. Do
you think they're afraid to be themselves because of what's happened in previous years with cancel culture?
I'm like,
turn the black cock back. Turn the clock back.
You said bat.
Black cock down.
It is.
Like, this is my thing. I'm like, I understand the censorship of television. I get it. I understand. However,
yes.
When you're announcing a game, I feel like whether it's live, you're on TV, radio, whatever the case is, you tune in because I'm like, it brings a little extra to the game for us when we're not able to actually be at the actual field. Like when we're not there, we want to be able to feel like we're there. And if you're not giving me that over the radio, I'm gonna turn you off.
Yep. I want your closer goes up in the 9th inning, throws a meatball down that fucking plate, and you hear, "Ah, shit." I want that.
Shit.
I want that. Is that wrong?
A
No.
few networks have already done away with censorship. They've allowed it to filter in. I don't know. Obviously not Fox, NBC.
I'm like RG3
ESPN.
used to do it when he did some of his games.
Yeah, you would say they would let it slip.
Like some things would slide. It was like, oh, that's questionable, but they would let it slide because he made it all in fun and character. So it wasn't like vulgar to it's like, oh my God, why would he say that?
All right.
What do we got there?
Before we get into our next topic,
Show us
grocery
something.
shopping today, I went to the
Is that Japanese?
yeah, it's some soda. I went to the.
Don't you gotta pop the top or something?
Yeah. I see. Yeah, in the video, it's gonna pop the.
It's
top
got like a
soda.
little marble in the middle.
Yeah. It's gonna have a marble. You got to drink it a specific way so to catch it. So we're gonna try this on the show real quick. I got no idea.
Do
got
it.
no reason for this. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna.
Don't break your wrist.
I got it. All right. It's in there. The marble's
What
in there.
flavor is it?
This flavor is watermelon.
Alright.
Watermelon. Here we go. Marble's in the right spot.
I'm nervous for you.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
This is fucking delicious.
Is it too sweet?
No, it's a watermelon, bro, with
It's a
carbonation.
watermelon. Tastes like a watermelon.
It's a watermelon with carbonation. What are we
water
doing
soda. It's a water soda.
What are we doing in America, bro? I'm gonna buy a The wife loved them too. She tried to get me to try it pre-show. I wanted a live reaction on the show. She knows this.
So you're talking about this is in the Asian department. Then,
It was in the
grocery
Asian.
store.
Yeah, it was in the Asian
Asian
section
market,
of Pick
yeah.
and Save.
I need you to send me a screenshot of that whenever you get a
I will.
chance, so I can go to the store on Monday.
They had a bunch of flavors too. They had watermelon, strawberry, like a lemon. It was
Nice.
crazy. Yeah. The wife and I picked watermelon. This is good. Cold or warm. Great.
I'm eating grapes
Grapes, yes.
with tahini
Good.
on it.
It's
Nice.
not over carbonated. The
As long as it's
carbonation,
not too sweet. That's my biggest thing.
No,
You
it's
know,
not
I'm diabetic
sweet
and
at all.
everything.
it just tastes like a watermelon. It's got that natural
Watermelon doesn't have a
watermelon.
taste, though.
Oh, bro. You'll
So
see.
is it the marble you think that's giving it the taste?
But I've seen somebody drink the bar because the marble is the thing that gave it away from me. That I've seen that bottle.
That's
before.
why I got it. The marble
Yeah.
on the TikTok works. Yay.
Imported soda, juice water.
But
So
god
now I have
dang.
to try it.
You got to try it. Yeah, I'll shoot you guys a message in the group about it. But yeah, because there's no way I'm reading this or telling you the fucking name.
You can't read it. Come on, now.
I
You
can
don't know
bet-
what's in it.
I
Give
can
me your best try.
Wauchenba?
I have a hard time believing that's what you're saying.
I just told you I am great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we took a small tour in Singapore. I learned a little bit. But yeah, these are fantastic. I suggest not like the electric lawnmower, but this A+.
Charles is gonna go. He's going balls deep into the Asian juice soda carbonated water.
Oh, I
market.
went hard that time, and I shot the marble over the drink thing. You can't go hard. You got to enjoy it peacefully because it shoots the marble over, puts it in the mouth hole, and then you're like, "Where's all my
Are we
drink?"
still talking about the drink?
Yeah, I think maybe.
So it was $4,130 per night for them super yachts to be parked in the Bay of Monaco.
How much?
$4,130 per night.
Yeah,
Pennies.
Those are rich people.
Pennies. Yeah.
Those are rich people.
I'm afraid the carbonation's going to leave, so I want to drink it fast. But
All right, we can. But you were mentioning
congratulations.
this.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I said you were mentioning this. You're mentioning the super yachts.
Oh yeah, for one, listen, this show is going to have a super yacht.
So we're gonna have a super yacht.
If
We're gonna do
Taylor
a
Swift,
show.
if Taylor Swift
super
can
yacht.
fly all over the fucking country,
And make
We-
all her
we
dates
could-
and her tour dates.
and yeah, we can have a super yacht. That's fine.
Not only that, with you guys being veterans, it's entirely possible that we could get veteran private security, and we can employ veterans on our private yacht.
Oh,
for our
yeah,
security.
indubitably. Once we get our own
Keeping
building,
that shit in house.
yeah. Once we get our own building, you guys can use this in court all you want. We're gonna hire veterans first.
Sorry.
And family.
It's
Hey,
going to be written up this way.
What's that line saying? Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're not sorry. We're not.
Hashtag love you more.
Hashtag love you more.
Listen,
Sorry, not sorry. Love you more.
I am a firm believer. Listen, I've done this since I can remember. I got out in 2010. I've ran into too many veterans that have struggled getting out from the military, trying to transition to the civilian side. I was one of them, like trying to get a job, trying to get an appointment, just in general, just trying to figure out life, because the military sometimes does not set you up for success when you transition. So if that means when we make it, that we got to invest in veterans first, again, this is no disrespect to any civilians out there, because listen, Patrick, he's a civilian, and he knows that we don't single anybody out. However, when it comes to investing into our own, if there's some of these homeless people out here, majority of them are more veterans than they are just regular people, and nobody knows this. And it's sad to see them out there. And I refuse to have my brothers and sisters out there struggling when I can help them out.
Indubitably. And shout out to the United States Census. They have decided to finally start recognizing veterans on the census in an attempt to better combat veteran homelessness. We'll see where this goes.
What's the fucking catch behind that?
That's exactly what the point is. We're not political, but I think we can find out which area of this was funded from.
Apparently, Super Yachts Monaco is a boat dealer on 25 Rue Grimaldi, Monaco. Shout out to the I don't know how to 377-932-50348. Well done. You know, we're here. You can't afford it yet, but keep an eye on us. We're coming to see you.
Coming to a lake near you.
All right, Charles. Oh boy, I just Googled the average price of a super yacht. Now, let me entertain your ears for a moment here. Then on average, a 100-meter super yacht with a top speed of 25 knots and 50 crew members should cost around $275 million. Considering the 30
totally doable. Totally doable.
What's the down payment?
30%? You're talking
20%. Yeah, you're talking 28, about 33, $34 million.
34 milli. That's totally doable.
Yeah.
I thought this
could change.
Here's the thing. It was a dream, right? Or I thought it was a goal, but as the day went on, I realized that it was going to be difficult to make a plan. So this goal, a goal without a plan is just a dream, right? So it may just be a dream, but hearing those numbers.
Hey, I got that right here.
How about we don't have to? We don't even necessarily have to buy one. We could rent one.
No, we will buy it
we want to lease.
Yeah,
one.
because then we can air. No, we'll buy it and then Airbnb that motherfucker when we're not in it.
Oh, till all the rich.
And they'll pay
all them rich boats because they come with them black credit cards. They'll pay the mortgage on that. This is totally fucking doable.
Oh, well, I'm Brady up on that bitch then.
Yeah. We just got to. Yeah, absolutely.
And then it comes with some of the.
And it comes with some of the best security.
Freebie.
We straight up don't ask, don't tell on that bitch.
They won't throw the biggest party in Monaco.
Was it clean? Is the boat clean? All right.
Yeah.
But we'll hire staff for that shit.
Yeah, bring in the next crew.
We don't need it. We're not cleaning that shit.
This is totally doable. 10, 15 years, I think this is when we start revisiting this. After the passive conglomerates have shot off to the sky, I think this is hearing those numbers. Listen, I'm going to be honest. What number wasn't reasonable to you, Charles? 500 milli. I thought 500 milli was going to be too much.
75 was reasonable. 500 milli, $500 million.
Too much.
No. So what do you think your net worth is going to be in about 10 to 15 million years?
I'm hoping close to 500 milli.
Close to 500 milli.
If I could just scratch the surface of 10 to 15 million dollars by the time we get there, I'm like, hey, here's my 2 million. What do you need else from me?
Bro, they're just going to come in and flows.
Listen, however, if we are as big as Charles says we're going to be, which I have all the faith in,
huge.
I don't believe those people are buying those. I think they got to be.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's gonna give us a boat, and be like, "Hey, you want to throw a party on our boat? Only if we get our name on that bitch.
Yeah, 89% of lease owners lease their yachts.
Yeah,
so
that's
yes,
what I'm saying.
there is. It would make sense because there's a 1%, there's a 3%, there's a 5%, 10%.
We'll coin it.
Yada yada.
I'm telling you right
If
now,
they
we
lease
own a
them-
yacht, if we own a yacht,
They could
we're
lease them
part of
to
that
us.
upper echelons of these
Yeah.
fuckers are rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Monaco rich, because we don't got to claim taxes in Monaco. I've looked into this.
I was like, we will take off from South.
Monaco don't give a fuck as long as you're just spending money there.
You
Monaco
think
don't
Navy
care.
Federal will finance this shit? Or do we got to go to a black market bank?
We might be having somebody
flag
send
flying
money
on the
orders. We might be having somebody sending money
You're
orders.
gonna call Navy Federal's or USA's hotline like, hey, I just want to let you know, I want you to be prepared. There's about to be a large purchase that's about to go down. What, like 5 or 10,000? Nah, bro.
No, 250 milli. 250 milli. 250 milli.
Beeping
Hey,
it
and
in.
don't turn it into fraud. This is me telling you it's happening.
Listen,
not
motherfuckers,
wire
I'm telling you,
fraud.
I'm calling you right now. I swear to God, if I have to call you back, I'm taking this boat and I'm going to shove it up your ass. That's not true. It's expensive, but I'd think about it.
Do one of those boats and hose videos with the podcast.
Oats and hose.
Yeah. Oh, for real. But that's what I'm saying. They lease them, right?
Yeah.
After the lease is up, I'm not buying this. We swoop in, buy the cheaper ones,
Cheap as shit.
and then
We get
lease them
upgraded.
out to people who
Yeah.
are reaching for the fucking stars, baby.
Or, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Look at my crazy eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
We wait for an auction. Because these motherfuckers can't pay shit.
Drug dealer auction. Yeah.
Drug dealer.
Drug dealer auctions.
Get it, bro.
Government auctions.
Like a quarter on the dollar.
Bro, and
It's getting really hard on his
we
luck.
get special access into a lot of the government auctions because of our veteran status.
Ooh.
Yeah, because there's 5,000 acres up in the UP.
We can get
with
a
like
fucking yacht that's worth $200 million for $5 million.
Yeah, they've got 8.5-foot fences around the whole fucking thing because it was once government, so that's legal.
I'm just saying, auction is the way to go.
And it's right by the two massive harbors. Really, fuck,
So
you
I
could
could
almost
just,
throw
I
a
could
rock
just
to
wire
Canada.
Charles my 75 million.
Yeah.
And then we're golden.
We golden.
$75 million. It's not gonna be $7. If we get an auction, I promise you, we're not gonna waste no more.
But
than
we all
$2.5.
want to be worth half a billion. Come on,
We're
bro.
not
It's
gonna
be
waste more than
pennies.
2.5.
You found out that I'm okay with up to 257 milli, so let's just rock it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Exactly 250. Anything other than that?
Paul's thinking small potatoes. I don't want to give you a slice because I got to save for the future. But Charles is thinking long term. This is a business plan.
It's too big to fail, man. It's too big to
If you
fail.
got that kind of money, you can't tell me you're failing.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get 4 of these fucking yachts totaling 250 milli. Then we could use it as assets, pour that shit back into some grants, populate the community, rock out with our cocks out.
Dude, wouldn't that be a great marketing tool though, for you to be able to give the award for like a scholarship to a student athlete? You have them come.
At a
You got to
fucking
come meet
party.
me on my super yacht
Yeah.
to get the scholarship.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret.
Everybody be signing up for them scholarships.
I'm going to let you in on a secret, okay? You'll never find a grant for a bowling alley. But what you can find is a community action grant in which you're going to better the community by building a bowling alley. And that's how you write a grant.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Charles,
Monaco.
You have the most unnecessary information that is.
It's
so-
not unnecessary. This is Charles's college education coming into play here.
I don't know
Like
where else I'm
free.
going to use it.
Free college education.
Hashtag free. I guess I paid for it a little bit. We could argue otherwise.
Potatoes, tomatoes.
What did
Some
they
of us
say?
are
Yeah,
fucking-
no tomato.
Listen, speaking of college education, when I got out, me and one of my best friends got out at the same time, and we both had the plan to go to school. Because I'm like, if you've been in the military and you get out, you already fucking know you can go to school for free and get paid to go to school. Like, it's a win situation. And just so y'all know, you don't have to get straight A's as long as you pass the class. C's get degrees.
D's get degrees if you go to the right school.
Touche. I'm like, he decided he wasn't going to go to school because, man, it's too hard. Bro, you just got to take the most basic classes. Go for liberal arts.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Hey,
even
man,
have to use it.
I'm just here for nature, man. I'm just here.
Yeah, you
I'm
wanna
just
go-
here
I
for
wanna
them
go-
trees.
I'm gonna go dig through like fucking animal dung. I don't give a shit.
With a liberal arts degree,
Literally.
you
I
could
don't
go
give a shit,
become
literally.
Yeah, with a liberal arts degree, you could become a Domino's building manager, and after
Sure.
5 years, they'll buy you your own Domino's.
Yeah. You just have to
Those
put the
franchise
effort in.
owners make money though.
Oh hell yeah, they do.
All right, we're getting off topic. But
Yeah,
it was good.
my
It was
bad,
fun.
my bad.
It was
That was the Monaco 250 milli. I'm sorry. I'm
Charles,
sorry.
Charles had to hit on it just a little bit because he had
got lazy
it was
with our
eating
money.
at him.
There, outside of the super yachts, there was a huge F1 race today. Congratulations to old Charles. I fuck his name up. We'll just.
It was Charles. It was Charles. So
Wait,
maybe.
yeah. Charles Leclerc, I believe it is. Hometown boy finally gets a win in Monaco. Red Bull starting position was 6 and finishing position was 6. Monaco seems like a race unlike any others. And at first, I was super distracted because I was like,
watched it. It's windy.
oh, the
Nuts.
first 25 seconds, Sergio Perez's car was destroyed, bro. There was
saw
no
that.
there was no tires. There was nothing. Everyone was safe.
He
Everyone
walked
was-
out of there.
What did they
Yeah.
say? They
Yeah.
say this is a super aggressive drivers race, and it's usually the person who just doesn't give an F literally wins it.
So how they positioned out of the qualifying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7, 8, 9 outside of a wreck or two, finished how they qualified. So they positioned. That's how they finished the race. So Ferrari did get 2 positions on the pole.
There's not a lot of movement once you're at the top.
Stario. Yeah, but and that's what confused me about Monaco, because the other races there was movement and you didn't have to rely on a crash. Monaco, it was like, yo, we need a safety car or we're fucked. And radio chatter sometimes allows for those scenarios to creep into your mind. There was a huge controversy with the Alpine crew. This was just a mega disaster for the French. And this was pretty much the main reason why I wanted to talk about this, is because the French got hella embarrassed. Terribly embarrassed. That French drivers, French motor, French circuit, French. And in the first 35 seconds, one teammate takes out another and causes just amazing disappointment. I loved every minute of it, only because everyone was safe and okay. But other than that, congratulations to the hometown boy finally getting the Monaco. And if you can go and listen to the radio chatter after they win, hearing how he just screams with pure accomplishment, pure joy, pure excitement.
Character.
Yeah, it was so nice. And that's something that F1 does, and I absolutely love it. You get a whole bunch of conversations between drivers and pit crew, car managers.
Keeping you into the game.
They do a really good
Yeah.
job. Absolutely. So it was a
Well,
Well,
wonderful
it's a
race.
team effort, 110%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It was an absolute
Well,
wonderful race. Max did have the comment of the day. At one point, he said, I don't can understand this. I guess I should have brought my pillow. Because Monaco is just different. If you
Yeah.
try too much, you lose. So where you qualify is more or less where you finish if you survive the crash in the first couple of laps.
I bet you that's a race that they don't allow betting before or after pre-race qualifiers.
Yeah.
Because if it's a consistent thing like that, it's probably just like golf. You'd be like, hey, let these guys play a practice round, and you get to bet on the first round.
Yeah.
And they don't change the pin holes, the pins to the pins.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, again, we're new into F1, and due to the international reach of it and the United States media bullshit, we only get to catch a handful of races live.
Yeah.
Once I buy the house, though, I promise you, I'll be getting the F1 television. I think it's as interactive as YouTube TV is with sports, but magnified at like 100. Because you can like straight up go into their
Change
car.
camera angles and stuff?
Yeah, like you can go into their car
Interesting.
and watch through a race through their car. You can hear through their headset, their chatter. Some of it's allowed, some of it they cut out for science purposes, but still, it at times you feel like you're fucking there, like in a virtual sense, and it's
You'd
really,
be one of
really
those
cool.
guys that buys the virtual race car setup, and you have it with the rumble strips and stuff, so you feel like you're in the race and you wear the
Yeah.
helmet and everything. Yeah, that'd be fucking kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, I've been gaming for almost 30 years now. I would definitely do that. That would be so.
Did you guys get that video of the guy who set up the military thing where he was playing Call of Duty and he had the thing go into his arm and when he was shooting, it was kicking back on him?
I did not see that.
Oh
No,
my
I
God!
didn't see that either.
I'm gonna have to find the video and send it to you. Is this ancient guy? He set it up and he's in there and it's pushing his shoulder back. It knocks him off his chair and shit. It's pretty cool. All right, moving forward, Charles, you guys want to touch on the NBA next?
Rich Paul calls LeBron James a free agent, but stops short of confirming he will decline his player option.
I think everybody assumes that he's not coming back with the Lakers.
Which is just befuddling to me on why Darvin Ham was fired. Who in that Lakers front office honestly believed they were in position to keep LeBron James when the Detroit Pistons are about to draft his son with the 22nd pick?
I
You think
hear
he's
the
going to
scuttlebutt
Detroit?
rumors. That's what the rumor is. Detroit is that desperate that they would make this PR move. Sorry, bud, but
It's all right.
don't want to put your name associated with the Pistons. But in this scenario, it is
I'm like,
a PR move.
I know that he wants to play with his son in the league. I get that.
Yeah, would he want to so bad that
To
he
go to
goes,
the Pistons?
I don't
I'm
think that
telling
kid
you
would
right
show up.
now, there's no way on this earth he's signing with the Pistons to have 2 terrible years.
to play with his son, to be the
No,
first
I'm
ever
not-
father-son duo in the NBA,
I'm
the
not
first
doing that.
ever.
And then
That's
this
the only
thing,
way they
who's,
sell tickets.
and then
What happened to Al Horford and his son? What happened to his son?
I don't think they ever played on the same team. There's
They
been
didn't play
other.
on the same
I
team.
think there's
Yeah.
been a couple. There's
So
been a
it's gotta
couple
be the
father-son
same team.
duos in the NBA, but I don't think ever played on the same
Same
team.
I don't
team.
think played. I think it just goes back to Ken Griffey and his dad.
Yeah.
Those the
Yeah.
only duo I know that, and it's not just they played a game; they played a couple years together early on in his career. But I'm
Very
like,
productively.
again, but baseball also is a different type of athlete type
That's
of
even
game.
harder to do, though.
Not
that
just
baseball
that,
one's
you-
probably more impressive.
And this is the thing, in baseball, you could play late into your 40s. In basketball, you're putting a lot of wear and tear on your knees and your feet, especially if you're a big guy. And LeBron is 6'8". He's 21 years into the league, about to go in year 22. You're telling me you're about to risk, not saying that his legacy could get tarnished, but if you're going to go to Detroit, I'm going to compare them 2 fucking
He's definitely
years.
going to taint the legacy going
Listen,
to Detroit. Let's
I'm
be
gonna
honest.
I'm gonna scrutinize those 2 years like they scrutinized Michael Jordan's 2 years in Washington. I'm watching that shit like a hawk.
We will be. Charles and I will definitely have hot takes on it if he goes to the
Because
Pistons.
what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna
You will
act
criticize
like
the
you're
shit
this King James. You're the GOAT, right? And if you're going
Yeah.
to a shitty ass Detroit team, I expect playoffs in both years.
Every
Not
night
one and
you're
done
playing.
either. He'll get us to
You're
the
not
play-in
going.
tournament. He'll get us to the play-in
Listen,
tournament.
at a minimum, you need the in-season
The
tournament.
plan.
At a minimum, I need you Detroit Pistons to win the in-season tournament.
Holy shit!
Because
dude,
if
this
you
took all
can't
the
get the
oxygen out of my
if
blood.
you can't get the Pistons to the playoffs, back-to-back NBA Finals championship, and I know what all the LeBron fans are gonna say, man, that's unrealistic. Y'all hold Michael Jordan to the same fucking flame when it comes to the Wizards. So shut up.
Yeah, you can't tell me that. Here's the thing. Michael Jordan still averaged, what, 16, 18 a game when he was with the Wizards?
No, he averaged 20 to 22 points in 20.
Oh,
I
when
think
he
it's
was
like
with
20
Washington even?
Yes.
All right.
And he
So-
played both full seasons with a bum knee and back.
He
So
was so
I- if-
old playing
okay.
for the Wizards, dude. It
So
was
I don't want to hear this comparison. It's not the same thing. No, fuck you.
Here's the thing. He goes to Detroit, right? Let's hypothetical, crazy hypothetical situation here. He gets drafted in the second round to the Pistons, right? He's their pick in the second round, whatever, at 36
Wherever he goes,
or whatever it
Let's
is.
say he
All right.
ends up in Detroit.
Yeah, 35, 36, whatever their pick is. It'd be fifth because second round goes over to first, second, third pick in the whatever round. Anyway, he'd be like the 35th pick of the draft. All right, the Detroit Pistons take him. LeBron James says, "Fuck," and then he's got to sign with Detroit,
Wow.
right?
Because he's there. Because if he signs with Detroit, if they draft him, he's there for at least 3 years, unless they cut him
Yeah.
early.
This has got to be clickbait, but it's on MSN, so.
It is just crazy.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you,
saw the
they're
rumors
talking-
too.
They're talking the Celtics might pick him up also.
Oh my God.
So here's my thing about the Celtics. So
They can't afford him, I don't think.
not just that, LeBron has outwardly said it verbally, publicly, that he hates Boston because they're one of the most racist people in the world. But yet he is a part owner of the Boston Red Sox.
He is personally, or his marketing team is part of.
Doesn't matter. Your name
owner.
is attached to it.
Correct, but if it all comes down to money, they just bury their name. Somebody found out that he was part owner. Is he public owner?
Prisons? Is it like Jordan with the prisons?
I don't know.
Owning, or is it
No,
like?
it's just Usher owning a part of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, he owns a part of it. Dwayne Wade owns a part of the Utah Jazz.
It's probably a really small percentage, though.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a say-so in anything like that.
It's probably some.
But
really,
I'm pretty sure they're using his name and his face just for,
Yeah.
LeBron James is the owner of the Boston Red Sox.
That could have been something that he got into before he knew that he got locked into it for 10 years and he wants to get out of it, but he can't.
So it's the 26th. So we have, 35 days. 35 days until LeBron James becomes a free agent.
When
Or
does free agency
stays. Yeah.
And Bronny James
June
gets
30th.
drafted by the Detroit Pistons.
June 30th. It just so happens that this will be days after the NBA draft concludes on June 27th. So anybody out there thinks that you're going to hear anything else about LeBron James between now and June 27th, you're crazy.
If we haven't learned anything from the decision from 2010, we are not going to hear crap until he wants us to know where he's going.
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to be after the NBA draft. 9 times.
It's going to be after the draft because he's going to make the decision because it's going to depend on what team takes him. Because I have a feeling that he might not get traded mid-season, maybe.
Yeah. If the Pistons,
there's no way he's going to sign with a sorry
yeah.
team.
No. If the Pistons or Celtics end up taking Bronny James, it's a no-go.
Let's break into another NBA thing that's going on then. If we don't want to talk about LeBron James for forever, because I can see Paul down here getting a little butthurt about it.
He's a little.
But what about Luka in the playoffs, man? Has Luka not been the best basketball player in the playoffs so far?
Man.
He's definitely coming into his own.
Dude,
more and more every year.
You're down with a teen and they came back and beat the Timberwolves.
And here's the thing, what's crazy is they're now the next 2 games tonight and then what's tonight? Sunday. So on they're up by 4. They could sweep this, and
they beat the Timberwolves
2 games at home
on the road.
So they're 2 up.
Yeah.
So now the next 2 games are in Dallas, and they can sweep this and go to the NBA Finals and finish all this in Dallas.
Do we get 2 sweeps to the finals?
It'd be nice.
Indiana's going to struggle without Tyrese Halliburton on the floor.
Well, Indiana has done everything they can, and Boston just keeps
they've
winning,
given Boston everything they got.
Game one,
Boston is just much better than Indiana by all stretches of the game. Yeah. No way around it.
Yeah. Now, how
fucked up would it be to Kyrie play Boston Celtics in the finals and have to go back to Boston and beat them in Boston? How fucking
that'd be awesome.
I'm actually would laugh about that. I think it'd be funny.
My money would be on Dallas at that point, to be honest with you. Because if Boston was playing a healthy Milwaukee or a healthy New York, this series is 2-1 the other way. Boston has played to lose 2 of these 3 games, and Indiana, let's be honest, it's Indiana. They had a magical run and a great story.
I feel like Boston has been sleepwalking through the playoffs because they haven't had any competition the entire.
Right.
So
but a healthy New York.
Will they lose one
Boston
game?
Do you think Boston can beat Dallas though?
No, that's what I'm getting at. Because I'm hearing a small amount of chatter about. Maybe this Boston team is for real. But when you're...
Boston will beat themselves, or Dallas will beat themselves at least one game. It might be 3-4-1. It might be 3-1 going into Dallas in Game 5. Yeah.
Hell, I can even see it going 6 or 7 games. Absolutely. Because there was something that was mentioned earlier. And the only reason we even talk about the Pistons winning a championship is because we're Pistons fans. Right, but
there's no truth behind it.
Arguably, the last team to win the last Pistons team to win a championship is
2004, right?
Yeah, isn't that memorable, right? Like you had a couple small moments, but when we're sitting here talking about NBA championship teams, that Pistons team isn't going to come up. The Bad Boys, different era, different story. But my point with this is that whoever wins this championship 10, 15 years from now is not going to be looked back on as that team. They're just going to be looked back on as the team that made it and won.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to Boston situation, because they've been a powerhouse team now for the better part of what, the last 4 or 5 years now,
Yeah,
for the most part,
in a terrible
coming out of
Eastern
the
Conference,
East, coming out of the East anyway.
Yeah, yes,
If they were to lose again in the NBA Finals,
which is expected, but yes,
what does that say for Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
Time to leave.
that they're
Boston.
paid way too much money.
But Jaylen Brown
time to
just
leave
got
Boston,
Jaylen Brown
probably.
just got a massive contract, so he can't go anywhere anytime soon. Tatum, I think he's in his 3rd year of his mega contract, and he's due up because they both made All NBA.
Oh, Tatum would leave. Tatum would chase a ring for sure.
But
Or do you go to
ask
chase
for-
the ring?
Do you trade him though, or do you sit with it for another year before he opts out?
You sit with it because you're still trying. You still own the East. if
So
you keep
7
them.
of the last 10 NBA Finals have gone to the West.
But here's the thing: this is
You
another
have
Phoenix
LeBron
Suns
James,
pick, 'cause that's the
Cleveland
scenario.
Cavaliers. You have that improbable Kawhi Leonard Toronto Raptors team. And then you had the Milwaukee Bucks, who beat a Phoenix team that shouldn't have been there, in my opinion.
It is what it is.
But other than that, you've had Denver and Golden State basically taking everything.
And then, and this is the crazy thing when it comes
then,
to the Western Conference,
Dallas
outside of
Mavericks.
outside of Denver, for I think the last 30 years,
It's rarely the best team. Outside,
no,
when it was
out of the
Golden
last
State.
30
Yeah.
years, every Western Conference champion that won the NBA Finals only came out of 2 states, California and Texas, outside of Denver. So it's just so the East is always changing. There's never a consistent champion coming out of the East versus the West. They're consistently always having usually the same teams winning the title out of the West. It's the Lakers, Golden State, San Antonio, Dallas had one, Houston had a couple, but majority of the time it was Los Angeles winning majority of the titles because they got 18? I think it's 18, right? They got 18 of them.
Yeah, shit ton.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would blow up Boston yet, just because they're still young. I get it, but I don't know.
It's Boston though; they'll blow it up themselves because they're impatient.
And again, too,
Unfortunately,
if they weren't playing Indiana, they're down 2-1 to a healthy Knicks or a healthy Milwaukee team.
Well,
I feel, who knows, blah, blah, blah. But from the product I'm seeing on the court, I can't, it's hard for me to argue with that.
the Knicks were healthy. I thought Brunson only got hurt in Game 6.
But
No.
but even not just Jalen
Yeah,
Brunson.
I thought he got hurt in Game 6 because he was
you
averaging
got-
40 points a game.
The Knicks were missing like 2 or 3 of their.
They had
their
OG that
starters.
was in and out of the lineup towards the last 3-4 games of the series against Indiana.
They had their top
Josh
offensive
Hart
rebound.
was playing injured.
Yeah.
Julius Randle was gone pretty much the second half of the season, and then just Jalen Brunson was. They were
Well, they lost their
coach-
top offensive rebounder too, like going.
Well,
into
they
that
were,
final
yeah, but
game.
they were playing Indiana.
But even then, you're running. Coach Tibb is good for running his players like dogs.
And here's the shitty thing: we saw what a not even a really healthy Bucks team did in Game 1 to Indiana. Then they got hurt. Lillard got hurt. The rest of their team got
Yeah.
hurt. So the Bucks could have easily wiped the floor with Indiana had
absolutely.
they not got
With a
hurt.
healthy
Yeah.
Giannis, they could have ran
It
there.
would have been,
Hell,
well,
yeah.
it would have been a completely
Well,
different
yeah.
story.
No, indubitably, and that's what I was getting at. Boston is lucky they're playing Indiana, and there's going to be this
And you know that
allure
chemistry.
of there's going to be this allure of is Boston the stronger team coming in? Blah
and
blah
not
Well,
blah.
next year,
and
the
not-
chemistry with Lillard and
And
Giannis
this is
will be
the
way
thing,
different.
and not
I
to
can't
sleep
wait,
on
dude.
Philly, because even before Embiid got hurt, they were one of the top 4 teams in the East before Embiid had to sit out for injury for a month and a
Here's the
half.
problem.
I'm not saying I'm putting it all on Embiid to be a powerhouse team.
No, but here's the thing: a lot of people are saying that Embiid's career probably is over because he's
I'm
having
like,
those
he's
issues
had
that a
leg
big man
injuries.
has.
Yeah, them leg injuries is not a joke when it comes
As
to
a
big man.
7-footer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very common.
Yeah, he's never gonna be in the MVP right. He shouldn't have been.
Well,
to begin
the
with,
rumor
regardless.
is he may possibly have to play with a restricting knee brace, so that the three might not be there anymore. The
And he's
crossover might
playing
not
with
be there
Skechers.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with Philadelphia. Are they a great team? Absolutely. But they're a dream team. That's all they are. Because you dream about them staying
It's
healthy
a
all season.
disappointment. It's a
You dream about them being healthy going into the postseason. And just like PR's down there saying, it's a fucking disappointment.
It's just the hype is always there on paper for them, and it's because Maxey, Tobias Harris is just
aging, getting older.
He's just consistently trash, just like Jimmy Butler said a couple years ago. You picked Tobias?
Yeah.
You picked Tobias over Jimmy Butler. You see how that's working out.
Do you think Philadelphia wins a championship with Jimmy Butler?
I'm like, they got a better opportunity than what they have right now. But I don't think so. I don't think so.
Last year, last year, I think if Butler was on the team last year, I think they may have done it.
Here's the thing. Jimmy Butler can't play an 82-game season and be healthy for the playoffs. He needs about a 50-game season and then the full playoffs.
I don't understand.
He can't be your number one.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, so and to touch on what PR had said too, I do sit a little bit on the opposite side of the fence when you were talking about Thibodeau running his players. I mean, what, we're talking 40 minutes? These are millionaires, super athletes. If they can't do their craft for the longevity of it, miss me with that shit. I don't care. I love you, but these are super athletes. People who can walk on the football field and be productive, right? But you can't stay football. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. The point with that, though, is you can't work Jimmy Butler as a number one. He can't stay healthy. You can't work Joel Embiid as a number one. He can't stay healthy. If Joel Embiid could play 28 minutes a game on the back half of the game, he'd probably be amazeballs. But you can't look at him in any light. It's just like this damn Rudy Gobert thing being the fucking defensive player of the year. What a fucking joke that is. And I loved.
What happened to him then? If he's the defensive player of the year, what happened to him?
Did you tell Rudy that he can't guard you? I was talking Slovenian. I don't know.
Now,
He's such a freaking shit talker.
Guard me.
Like, how do I say this without sounding like a jackass?
French toast.
Get why they gave Rudy the DPOY. I do. I get it.
Somebody who's not in the game the last 4 minutes?
So fuck this. I'm not going to say however. But. Usually I say however, but this time I'm going to say but. There's no fucking way. I get it that Wemby was not on a winning team. I get that.
Yeah.
But you're going to sit here and tell me that this man's stats damn near either matched or doubled what you put out as a rookie,
playing half the basketball time,
half the minutes that you were playing, and you're going to
average like 23 to 26.
I get it, but this man was playing 28 minutes, and the offense in Minnesota definitely wasn't coming from him. And he wasn't I understand why you gave his defensive stats look great, but I'm telling you right now, next year if Wemby is able to replicate or do better. Let's say he's able to, for the rumor was able to get Chris Paul to go to the Spurs. Let's say if they're able to find a way to pull that off, even for 1 year, and he's able
a double machine. So
here's my stance.
There's no way that he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year next year. There's no way.
I agree. I'm willing to go and say that the 2024, 2025 Defensive Player of the Year will go down as the worst Defensive Player of the Year in the history of that award.
If it doesn't go to Wemby next year and he's able to do the award, the same numbers, if not better, next year, and you don't give it to him just because he's on a losing team, I get it. I know that winning matters. But you're not going to tell me that those stats don't scream Defensive Player of the Year. So you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and the bias that is, it's his first season.
I don't give up. So then why did Candace Parker get WNBA MVP and Rookie of the Year her rookie year?
Yeah.
Her rookie year. So why would you give her the MVP? Because she was that fucking good her rookie season. Again, if Wemby is that good, why are you moving the goalpost just because it's his rookie season? What sense does that make? You're moving the goalpost for Wemby because he's a rookie.
It doesn't make it. I'm sorry. There was a befuddling play that just unfolded. Kyrie being Kyrie. That's so chill. And to touch on the Rudy Gobert thing a little bit more too. So the last game, you had Luka hit the game-winning shot over Rudy, and my entire time I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why is that big dude on the court? Who does Dallas have on the court at that time that Rudy Gobert had to be on the court? Are you putting him on the court because you've now listened to the smoke about the dude not being in the game the last 4 minutes? How do you give somebody like that Defensive Player of the Year? So you're like, oh, we're going to show the world why you're Defensive Player of the Year, and now it just cost you a game in the Western Conference Finals? Because there's no way Rudy Gobert should have been on the court. If I'm Luka or Kyrie, I'm fucking switching to have that guy on me, because if he pumps up, I go around him because he's slow. And if his feet stay short, I'm going to fucking shoot over him because he can't reach the ball.
And this is the crazy thing. Now, you can tell me I'm overreaching on this, and that's fine. I'll stand on this hill by myself. So the only two, I think it's Kembe and Hakeem? Or is it Kembe and Ben Wallace that got the only ones that got four DPOIs?
Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo.
And now Rudy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to throw a name out there, and you're going to tell me who would you rather have as your big guy in the paint? Would you rather have Rudy Gobert or Dwight Howard?
In their prime, probably Dwight Howard.
I'm
Free
taking
throw
Dwight
shooting, I probably have Rudy Gobert. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But who's more of a liability on defense?
Rudy Gobert, indubitably.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I would have to watch old boy's temper because he might be throwing punches towards the end, and I don't need those unnecessary fouls.
Dwight Howard? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Can I throw some stats out there for you for Wemby?
Go ahead.
21.4 points per game, 29.7 minutes per game.
So he's not even
28.
playing 2.5 quarters.
Yeah. And 3.9 assists, 1.2 steals, 3.6 blocks per
As
game.
a rookie.
As a rookie.
Should be
With
playing.
only 30 minutes on the floor.
And here's the other stat that's mind-boggling. Only 2.2 fouls.
So he's not putting
averaging
himself in
29
trouble
minutes.
that much.
Yeah.
That's, as a defensive player, that's what you would want. And then you still be able to give me 21 points a game. And this is, again, like you said, this is only off for 29 minutes a game.
And I'm going to go to Rudy's.
And this is the thing, Wemby can still put meat on his body to make him even more stronger than what he is now. That's the crazy thing.
He's gonna be, yeah.
Now let's go to Rudy. Rudy, 34.8 minutes per game,
Okay.
12.5 points. This is a defense. Remember, this is a defensive award. Points aren't factoring in here.
But he has how many more minutes?
34.8, so an extra 5 minutes per game.
Okay.
Averaging the same amount of rebounds, actually 0.6 less rebounds per game.
Okay.
1.7 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.2 blocks, 1.5 turnovers a game, and 3.7 personal fouls.
So about 4 fouls a game.
So he's averaging a full foul more in 5 minutes of playing time. So basically, you're saying he's playing better defense, but he's fouling more people. He's almost averaging 4 fouls a game.
And getting less blocks.
And getting
less
less
points.
blocks. So where's the defense coming from?
And less points.
So
And
you're
he's
telling
not-
me
and
a
he's
rookie.
not in the game the last 4 minutes.
Because he's in foul trouble most of the time, probably.
How do you give that? How do you give that?
I don't see the
Justify him
justification for it.
Justify giving him the award over Wemby.
And how do you
don't. I
justify
can't.
it making him the third person ever to win it 4 times?
I get it in Utah. I get it because he was a defensive focal point in Utah. There was absolutely
when he
no
was-
defense in Utah. But in Minnesota, he's not the only defensive player in Minnesota. There's other stout defensive player. Ant Edwards is not just a bum on defense.
No.
So he's not is he the defensive anchor? I guess you could say yes. But this isn't Utah where he was the defense. And you can't justify giving him the award over Wemby, and all you have to say is he was on a winning team. If that's your only reason, that's shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Because when we're talking about an MVP, I get it. But defensive player of the year, and to make it so this win, like you had to look at that and go, does he deserve to be in the same conversation as Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo?
And this is Ben Wallace, undersized center that was dominating the paint night in and night out. Like it was a fucking fear. Because he was like 6'9", 6'8", playing center against people that are got 5-6 inches on him and still try and come in the paint. Please
I'll never forget. I remember watching him go wide open dunk, and he slammed that fucker down as hard as he could, and it hit the back of the rim and shot up and hit the fucking scoreboard in the ceiling.
Let me ask you guys, y'all are Pistons fans, correct?
Yeah.
Ish.
If you didn't have Ben Wallace on that defense, how good would that team have been?
They wouldn't have won a championship.
They wouldn't have won a championship. No, because you had the team was Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Ben Wallace.
And don't forget Lindsey and whatever his name was.
I was the starting five there, but yeah.
Well, they were.
Again,
that was a defensive-oriented basketball team.
You just said it right there. Without Ben Wallace, Detroit would not even be the team that it was for that.
They wouldn't have made a playoffs, right? They wouldn't have made the playoffs.
So you're telling me that you're seeing Rudy Gobert as that dominant as a Ben Wallace?
No.
And then you throw in Dikembe. And then you throw in Dikembe Mutombo.
This is what you're trying to tell me.
You put French fries in with my cheese fries, or you put French fries in with my cheese curds, and I'm pissed.
No, he's a couple onion rings thrown into the French fries.
That just by mistake. When you got your fries,
Rudy Gobert is.
Yeah, you went to Arby's and got your crinkle fries, and you just happened to find a couple onion rings in the bottom.
You know what Rudy Gobert is? You remember those videos that, like, is it cake or is it real? And then you look at Rudy Gobert,
you cut it open,
and you cut it open, and he's a fucking onion, and you're like, this isn't even cake or real.
Caramel apple even worse. Caramel apple even worse because it's on a stick, and then you take a bite, and you're like, son of a.
So which one makes you more upset? Embiid getting the MVP last year over Joker?
Oh, God.
Or Rudy Gobert getting Defensive Player of the Year over Wemby?
I think the Joker one probably bothers me more.
Oh, God.
Because that was a blatant one.
You, Charles.
That was a blatant one.
Oh, my God.
At least this one, the vote was a lot closer with the Wemby one.
Can I just say I hate the NBA?
Can you just do 1A, 1B, Charles? Because then you can just say you hate them both equally.
I think
so
both of these...
Both of them piss you off, but which one just has that slight edge of, are you fucking kidding me?
The Joker, because this is a rookie, and that probably factored in.
Bro, you put them both on the table and made me want to puke.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider how terrible both of these decisions are together as
awful.
A dinner dish. It's like tilapia undercooked. That fake fucking fish.
Fake beef chicken shit.
I like tilapia.
No, you can like it. You can cook anything. You can cook a turd nice.
So did the writers. They liked it enough to give it to them 4 times.
But shit it out. Give it to them again.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Patrick on this one. The Embiid thing just made no sense.
You think that was a pity win?
It was definitively a pity.
Yeah, they did not want a three-peat or whatever it was. It was a three-peat.
And I think the conversation about a 4 MVPer is way less than obviously we're talking about.
He would have definitely won it 4 times in a row. He definitely would have won it 4. So here's the thing that I have.
It's why he won it this year.
I hate. Yeah. I used to hate this narrative, and until these last few years, I would say maybe the last 6 years, the MVP is a joke.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? When they get it right, but then I start to think. Let's go back to when LeBron won his first. He has 4 MVPs. MJ's my GOAT, but clearly LeBron should have had more than 4 MVPs in his career, without a shadow of a doubt, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The 2 that I'm just going to bring up, because I'm just going to say it, I don't care what anybody says. Russell Westbrook, I get it, he had his triple doubles. However, he had an 8-seed team and couldn't get out of the first round.
Russell Westbrook also led the league, I think, the year that he had almost 10 assists a game. He had like average 4 or 5 turnovers a game as well, too. So.
Are those great numbers? Yes. But did he have a better year than... I'm like, there are some that... I can even say the one where Derrick Rose won it. It should have probably gone to LeBron. Because, again, the numbers weren't screaming at you. You know what I'm saying? Per se. But it's like this MVP stuff, I still don't think James Harden won it just because he averaged 33 points a game, which is great, but your team couldn't even make it out to second round.
Yeah, that's because he averaged 93 free throws a game.
And he traveled like 80% of
And he
those.
traveled on 80% of those. It was like the absolute most. I could not have been happier when they got the first round. I was so excited.
That double step back that he does. Wait, y'all not gonna call that a travel? Like, what the fuck was that?
Just wait until we have this episode. We're going to watch about 60 minutes of the worst NBA travel calls ever, and we will have ourselves just gut punching ourselves, rolling laughing.
It is funny that when they crack down on the Harden step back, like he's now terrible. So it is super funny that the only reason he was great.
A terrible player.
Oh, I am. He's terrible.
But he's not him.
He's a regular season drama queen and goes bye-bye in the playoffs.
He's a good shooter, not a good player.
Waste of fucking money.
He is not a Batman. And that's what I hate people saying that. He can lead a team. If he could have led a team,
who's that
any team that he could have
led,
he could have led that Houston Rockets power team when he had Chris Paul, all that jazz. Like, you could have had, but again, I don't want to, they had to run into Golden State. No, if he was that guy, he would have found a way. And there was plenty of times because KD was hurt one year for the last 2 games of their series, and they choked those 2 games away to lose.
Or we pissed a lot of games away that they should have won.
Yeah, KD chokes all the time.
He's still a 2-time champion. I don't give a fuck.
He wears too big of shoes.
Yeah, hashtag Golden State Warriors. Without him, he would have nothing. I agree. Hey.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says.
Hey, listen, the bench players, the bench players got rings too, right? So it's gotta be a good feel.
Kevin Durant or Kevin Garnett?
I'd rather Kevin Garnett all day.
Oh, I'm taking Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett will give me 82 games.
It's not just Garnett. I like his attitude.
Well, when he got in the lane, it was over.
Yeah,
because you were either fouling him to stop him, or he was trying to go up and just lay it in over you.
In his prime Timberwolves days, he was unmatched.
Yeah,
he was the only player, and he was the only player on that team that was any good too. Unfortunately.
And even when he went to Boston, those first couple years before his knees started to give him problems, his defensive ability because he didn't have to be the offensive weapon in Boston. Because you got Ray Allen and Paul Pierce that scored the majority of your points. But having him...
Isn't that the crazy thing that he played with Ray Allen in Minnesota too, didn't he? Because he went Milwaukee, Minnesota. I thought he did play with him.
He didn't play in Minnesota. The only people that I know that played with him that were big was Sam Cassell, Stephon Marbury.
It was Marbury. It was Marbury in Minnesota. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
But KG in his Timberwolves days was just... That was a different animal, especially his MVP season. He was it. And did you see the interview he had when they said if Boston and Minnesota make it to the finals, who are you rooting for? He's for both of them. You can't do that. Who's going to stop me?
Yeah, I'm going to be sorry for the team that loses. I'm going to be happy for the team that wins. What more do you want from me?
I'm like, who's going to stop me from rooting for both of them? I'm like, you got parents out here that got double jerseys with both their kids on their jerseys. Why can't I do that with me?
Yeah, I just... Between the NBA and the MLB, we're talking about them, but it's how we're talking about them, and it's what we're talking about.
It's not happy thoughts.
And as a league commissioner, that's not what you should want, right?
When you have Charles... You got the league commissioner and the people talking about how terrible and how down the NBA draft is going to be. That was the one thing that I brought up. These were not fans talking about how bad it's going to be. These were potential presidents and people who scout the teams were saying how bad it is. That's awful. You should never have that.
How is the NBA's biggest story right now Bronny James?
It is Bronny James.
And as a second-round pick at that.
It's what comes with getting him is the prize.
I get it. I get you. I understand that. Trust me, I do. But this is probably one of the few NBA drafts where we're going in.
Oh.
And the biggest name is Bronny James. I get the Frenchman that's supposed to be the #1 overall pick that's supposed to be coming in, but how much do we really know about him? They're not even talking.
I keep hearing that he's not ready.
Then they're talking more about he's not ready and talking about how much improvement Bronny's made in the NBA Combine than anything else. You're not hearing about what's the guy's name from Purdue?
Zach
Edey.
They're not talking about him. You know what I'm saying?
Footwork too slow.
So
Not
it's
NBA,
like,
not an NBA project.
so
Profile.
this NBA draft, the only thing that's really exciting is one, who's going to be the first overall pick, and then the second thing is who's drafting Bronny James and when. That's the headline for this year's draft.
I can see him going after 15 in the first round.
But who knows who the first 15 are?
No, I can just see him going after any team after 15. I could see taking him because they're that desperate. But it's got to be a team that has the money to potentially move pieces around to get LeBron if he was to go there as well. Yeah.
How the fuck did the Atlanta Hawks get the first round?
Because the lottery draft is trash.
This is just terrible.
You've got okay. So
Detroit
you got
the fifth pick. Detroit got the fifth pick.
Two teams have 16%, which means they have 8 balls in there or whatever. They have the highest odds. It's been the last 2 years the team with 8%, a half of what the two teams that won. And I don't know what was the other team that was just as bad as the Pistons.
San Antonio wasn't supposed to be up there. They walked away with the 3rd or the 4th overall pick.
Yeah. So it's trash.
The Washington Wizards have the number 2 pick.
The whole system. That's why I asked that one.
They might have been really bad.
Should they get rid of the lottery system, or should the NFL implement the lottery system?
No.
The lottery system.
The Texans would still be bad right now if it wasn't for the draft. Teams like the Green Bay Packers wouldn't be where they are if the draft wasn't what the draft was, right? Like
Detroit has been screwed. Just
stop doing this. Sorry, can I ask you guys? This is what I want to say. I want to say, get rid of the ball thing. Just put the team names in there. Let a blind mouse freaking go through there and push the damn red button and pop up. And I only want the top 5 worst teams in there. Don't give me this 13 fucking teams.
I feel like they need to do it. Worst team on top, and then just work your way down the list. But for Detroit to get screwed basically for the last 2 years, because last year y'all could have got Wemby.
If y'all would have. Yeah, it wasn't rigged.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing: they could have got even in the top 3.
And then I think the year before that, I think it was this year, last year, and the year before that, y'all should have had the number 1 pick 3 years in a row. Y'all got screwed out of Pablo, Wemby, and now this year.
See, and it's curious to me too. Do they pick from 15 to 1 or 1 to 15?
15 to 1.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I've got 8 balls in there, and you're giving me 15 chances to pick one of them 8 balls. Of course, I'm never going to come out on top.
I think the lottery system is stupid. They need to get rid of it.
And how is it every time if what was supposed to be 1 gets 5, then 5 magically ends up in 1 or 2 immediately? They're not just 4. How is that even possible?
I'm like, you guys had literally the worst team, the worst record last year, and y'all are picking 5th.
Well, here's the other thing.
We've won 30 games in 2 seasons, bro.
It's 2024. It's time to do away with the 1930s bingo fucking Powerball. You can do this digitally. You don't have to do this. And guess what? You can get rid of human error with the ping pong balls. Finger touching. You can get sweat on your fingers when you drop the damn things in there. I don't give a shit. Do away with it. We do these things on these sports card giveaways, and they seem pretty fucking fair to me.
They got a fucking wheel that you can find on the internet for free.
We knew it was rigged.
That'd be even better. Teach you the old Wheel of Fortune wheel.
We knew it was rigged the moment LeBron James went to Cleveland. We knew it was rigged then.
Or even when Derrick Rose went to Chicago.
Derrick Rose to Chicago. And now you've got Victor Wembanyama to Greg Popovich. Oh, my God. The international coach, the international team. Oh, my God. How
you think these random great miracles happen in the NBA so often when it's an elite game-changing player and he goes to the place that he magically was supposed to go to according to all the freaking media outlets.
Because even Zion, how different would Zion be if he would have went to New York instead of going to New Orleans?
What about Zion going to the Lakers? Had he been like the 12th pick or something?
Why? I mean, there's
just so many different scenarios that this lottery system has just deviated what possibility of careers, because this lottery system is screwing out teams. I'm not saying to tell your team to tank so you can get the number 1 overall pick, but I'm just saying if you're that shitty to the point where you're probably going to land the number 1 spot. Why am I playing fate with a bunch of plastic balls to determine what pick I'm going to get when I should be getting the first overall pick?
Here's the other thing. The Chicago Blackhawks did it to the Detroit Red Wings in hockey a couple years ago as well. So this is not just an NBA thing. This is a entire system thing.
Yeah.
Any major
with the Bernard most recently.
If they do this lottery system with their picks, it's ridiculous at this point. Again, I'm grateful that we were able to get Derrick Rose, and I'm pretty sure Cleveland was grateful that they got Kyrie Irving
and then LeBron James
and
back
all
to
that
back.
jazz with all that stuff. I get it, but at this point, it's starting to get out of hand because it's like you got teams that have been struggling for years. They're getting screwed out of top tier talent because these fucking plastic balls are telling them, "Hey, you suck, but you're gonna suck for another couple more years." Because all the good players
at the mercy of the fucking plastic balls.
Like I don't know. Detroit's gotten screwed 3 years in a row.
There's a T-shirt idea for you, Charles. Have a guy.
Y'all have been three-peat on screws.
Yeah, have a guy that looks like the NBA commissioner going up there with to pick a ball up out of the freaking thing, and then all of a sudden he's got the ball and it's got the Detroit Pistons logo, and then it says "You suck again" on the ball when they pull it up. It'd be even better.
I don't get the logic behind the lottery system anymore. I just don't.
Well, here's the thing. Vegas, they already said California has already proven that the lottery system is fucking rigged.
Oh, it's been rigged for decades.
Why wouldn't this be rigged as well? How hard is it to weight a ball? How hard? I mean, they've been doing it because they've been doing this in casinos with dice for how many fucking years?
And
you don't think they can figure this shit out?
And this is the thing. The only thing we get to see as the consumers is them pulling the cards off. We don't know what's going on behind the
oh, they could just pick
with
it.
These lottery balls. They're deciding how these picks are going to end up. We're just assuming that there's a fucking. They show us. No.
They make a video, video, yeah.
But we're not actually watching them. There's no proof of them actually pulling these out. We're just assuming that this is what the outcome is after the balls come out like bingo. Well, we don't know that for sure.
Not anymore. It is for me personally. Go ahead, Patrick.
No, I just said B4.
Oh, yeah, indubitably, I'll never watch another NBA lottery or an NBA
we'll just
draft
be disappointed
until the lottery. Even if Detroit or Milwaukee randomly gets a first-round draft pick, I don't care because the product is trash, the system is trash, and I'm not going to watch it. The Pistons. I will not watch a single game as long as Tom Gores is the owner. I will not buy another jersey. I will not spend another dime. And we talk about them on here because the players still play it and they're dogs and we love them.
Here's the thing.
The ownership doesn't care, so I don't care.
We're not complaining about the way the NFL, that my team didn't get this player. We complain about the team that our player, we complain about our team for picking a particular player, but we don't complain about our team where they pick because we know they sucked and that's where they finished. And that's where they finished.
By the time the season is over, before the playoffs start, we know exactly what pick we're going to have in the
Exactly, and that's the way
it
should be.
There's no guessing. There's no trying to figure out where we're going to sit at. We know exactly where we're going to land.
Yeah, don't ramp up rah bullshit. Yeah. Nobody cares about the stupid bingo balls, like you said.
It just makes no sense.
It does nothing for the game.
There's no top social anything that utilizes ping pong balls, except your daily pick'ems on a lottery.
Pick'ems.
So why the hell is the NBA, the worldwide leader in basketball, drop their shit down to a fake ass lottery system and just there it is? Why? My question: why don't you televise the picks? Because the system fucks up so much and you got to redo it. I bet sometimes two balls come up and you just shove them back down. But you can't do that on live television. I bet sometimes no ball comes up and you got to restart the fucking machine because you don't spend any money on it. But you can't show that on live television. All of these things happen.
This in my fucking head right now.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. That shouldn't have happened. Pick them out, throw them back in there.
No.
It's a fucking joke. It's a joke and it's a waste of time.
How can you tell? And then for the average consumer to actually watch it like something magical's happening.
Remember, Charles, you brought this up. We had this episode. You brought up the F up with the Bedard thing.
Oh my
Chicago
God.
Blackhawks. Yeah.
All right, my child's a nutcase.
Blessings.
You do remember this though. You brought this up. You said, remember there was a hiccup.
Yeah.
And then they came back and that you were like, you almost like they were deciding to announce a different team. They came back with the envelope, opened the envelope up, and then they said it was the Chicago Blackhawks. And then they said, obviously, they took Bedard. It was almost like they realized that, oh man, we almost screwed up big time.
Yeah,
Not that it really matters. I'm not really upset that they got Bedard. They were a crappy team and they didn't have an opportunity to get that.
But
pick.
it's the principle.
It's the principle.
It's the
of
principle.
the thing. Yeah.
You weren't the worst team. And I don't understand. Like, just fucking Common Core math. Here it is, taking over the world again. If you're the worst team in the league, you deserve the top draft pick. I don't care how you got there. If you manage to actually tank in a way that you did not get fined for, because all leagues have a competitive fine rule, right? All owners can get just dominated in the money game if they so choose to. Why isn't it the worst team in the fucking league gets that draft pick? That's why I don't follow the MLB the fucking draft system either. That thing's so whack, I don't understand it. I watched the Tigers be terrible for 9 straight fucking years and end up with 1 first-round draft pick, number 1 draft pick.
The entire premise is to make teams more competitive. Why are you doing it backwards?
Yeah, because
Makes
even...
no sense.
There's just no competitive balance. The East is terrible right now because of this.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, I may be stupid, but if I'm not mistaken, I know that they announced the draft picks from 14 to 1. But last time I checked, when they're drafting players, they're drafting 1 to 32.
The whole fucking system is backwards.
So wouldn't you want to announce the first overall pick? I'm not. Again, I wouldn't want to announce it this way anyway, because at the end of the day, the worst team should get the first pick, regardless.
Absolutely.
No matter what the sport is.
Right.
From hockey, baseball, basketball, football. It just, I'm with you, Charles. It makes no sense whatsoever that Detroit Pistons have been the worst team for the last 5 years.
It turns
and
me
out
off.
of those 5 years, you only got 1 number 1 pick in Cade Cunningham. In 5 years, just 1.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Even the same thing with the Detroit Red Wings.
Like, how are we getting here?
Now, the Red Wings and Steve Yzerman, I trust, because I do want to touch on the NHL fucking playoffs, because let me tell you right now, NHL playoff hockey is different. The most fucking exciting thing there is. And not one damn time in these entire playoffs, nor really the regular season, have I watched a hockey game and went, ooh, what's that ref doing there?
But you're an American,
there?
Charles, and I don't care what's going on in Canada. They can have their stupid hockey. Keep the cup in the U.S. Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Florida or New York Rangers. That's who we're banking on, right?
Florida.
Or Dallas.
I like Florida because I like Kachuk.
Yeah.
Kachuk.
Yeah. My dad's a huge Florida Panthers fan. I'm rooting for Florida right now. They had a tough overtime loss today against the Rangers. The Rangers now lead the series 2-1. But the Detroit Red Wings have the number 1 farm system in the NHL right now coming into this next season.
They do it well.
Steve Yzerman is a dog. I've said it multiple times on the show, even in the most questionable moments. I'm trusting the guy whose name's on that Stanley Cup more than fucking once.
They will come.
He's Field of Dreamings, the Detroit Red Wings. I'm so excited for this.
The hardware speaks for itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like...
and Mr. Yzerman, we trust. But the action, it's not like we're getting like that most recent Denver, Minnesota series, right? It's every fucking game was a blowout. There was no point in watching it. Even towards the end, the game 7 was the best of all of it, just because of the 19-point comeback or the 22, whatever it was. But still, you're not getting this in these playoff hockeys. Please, if you're out there, just watch yourself some playoff hockey. You'll understand what's going on. These problems that we're talking about in other sports, you do not get that in hockey. And oh my gosh.
And they play it well. They don't worry about shit. They're leaving it on the ice every single
And they're
night.
dogs, bro. I'm talking just fights.
And they don't
blood,
get paid all
broken.
that well either. So it's like they're just playing because they love the fucking game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was super frustrated the other day when the NBA, the WNBA basketball game ran 18 minutes over and they waited to start the hockey game for it. I was like, no, switch over to the hockey game. I'll catch these fucking highlights later. Because I love y'all and I love the product and I love what you're putting out, but you're not NHL above pedestal yet. Get the fuck out of here with that. How dare you, ESPN?
We know why.
Please,
we know why.
please
Shove it down
stop
your throat.
giving media rights to ESPN. Just stop it. Live out your fucking Disney contract and go back to TNT, ABC, USA.
Wasn't NBC what used to be like this big hockey
Yeah.
viewership at one point?
NBC
Yeah.
used to be like the sports mecca, and then ESPN has come in and like ripped it from them. And I'm just
ABC
begging
as
you,
well. ABC was always
Yeah.
football, I think. Yeah.
They're talking about
Because like
losing
Monday
TN
night used to be on ABC before they switched
Yeah.
to the ESPN.
But NBC was definitely hockey.
Somebody,
and,
some,
baseball, and basketball. NBA's going back to.
yeah. I was just gonna say, is coming back on the scene.
The NBA one was. I think
that theme song's coming back.
Wasn't that the NBA one? I think so.
I think it's coming
Yeah.
back. We're no longer gonna have Inside the NBA on TNT anymore after this year. TNT did not want to re-up on that $2.7 billion deal that NBC put on the table.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to miss about that, honestly, Ernie. I'm going to miss Ernie, but I'm really going to miss Shaq and Charles going at it.
Them two, just comedy.
They're worth the pregame show 100% of the time. I
Yeah.
love it. I've always loved Shaq. I've been a huge Shaq fan. My dad was a Shaq fan. So he was
Yeah.
a fan of Shaq with the Orlando and then with the Lakers and then the Heat and then Cleveland and then
Speaking about all these TV deals, this upcoming season for the NFL, there are
Yes, sir.
so many streaming networks that are going to be streaming, like from Netflix to NBC,
Yeah.
Amazon. There's just so many networks
Well,
that are going to be streaming games.
They had to
this year.
break it up though because the monopoly rule.
It's
had to break it up.
insane though. Like for some, listen, I have my ways to watch this game. Will it be delayed a few seconds? 9 times out of 10, it will. Will I give a shit? No. But what I will not be doing is I'm not going to be paying because they said, I think when I shared the stat, I think it was like $850 a year
$870.
for Sunday
Yeah.
Ticket, Red Zone, YouTube TV.
Yeah, if you're a
Netflix.
team if you're a fan of outside of your team's market, in order to be able to
You're
watch
paying
every
for it.
single game, you'd have to pay
You're
$800 and
gonna-
some dollars. Yeah.
And here's
And
the
that's
thing.
over
But-
multiple networks, not
Please,
just
please listen. Please out there, shop for these streaming services like you're supposed to shop for winter coats. Okay, there's a whole bunch of spring and pre-summer deals out there for you to watch football cheaper.
Don't
like-
wait till the last minute.
No,
to buy
I think
these.
Yeah.
I just got Sunday Ticket for I think it was like $208. If
Well,
you
Charles,
end up,
I still got it from when we did the draft. It got re-upped when we were out in Florida. So I paid
Yeah?
like $50. So.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I was telling him that I've been listening to it. That's where all the chatter came from about the rookies and the 7-on-7s and the OTAs. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But if you wait, because if you're in that world, this is the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Is it okay? No. But you're either going to have to come on and watch us the next day or deal with what you got to deal with. So get it
And
before, because when you're getting it at the season, it's going to be $400, $500, $600.
Because I think Sunday Ticket alone is like $475, $500 right around the season start.
Mhm.
So it's like that's
Yep.
the biggest bulk of your money right there. If you
four
want to watch,
non-cancelable, four non-cancelable payments of $54.79 right now. That's what YouTube hit me.
I was wondering if it's entirely possible. If you, the three of us, possibly Mike, he wants to get in on this. We'll pick a Sunday game of the month or game of the week during the NFL season, and it won't be if it happens to fall on one of our teams, and we do it. But I critique the game. We do our comments just like the
Are we
two
watching it
brothers
live?
do. Yeah, we'll watch it live. We'll
Fuck
comment.
yeah, I'm
Now,
down with that.
We won't
Not-
broadcast
not-
it live,
yeah,
but
right,
we'll
right, right.
comment live.
we're watching the game live and we're talking.
Charles watches games live while he's watching a game right now.
I am.
I'm
You can
watching
see
the
it in his
game right now.
glasses
It's
right
right
now.
in front of me. It's right in front of me. I got it right here. Right here.
I can
right
see
here.
it. I can see it in Charles.
That's it. I've been watching it. Oh, fuck. It's old.
But yeah. I'm
Yeah.
down with that. I'm pretty sure Mike is cool with that. We could do that once a month. and find a game that we all.
Yeah, we'll find a game that intrigues all of us
and
that we want to watch. There's always a good matchup.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's just.
It's a lot of chaos going on right now.
We'll do a check the woods. We'll call it game takes, like where we just do hot takes and game take, like takes throughout the game or something. We'll do something cool with it.
Oh yeah, that's my hunting rifle in there.
The other thing, Charles, is we didn't touch on it because we were too busy talking about the NBA. But the WNBA parody, congratulations to Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever for getting their first ever win over the LA Sparks, who were what 1-2 or something. I don't understand how they only played 3 games and the Sparks, or they had played 3 games and the Fever had already played 5. But the WNBA is a mistress that I have yet to put a wrangle on.
She doesn't give me her secrets.
All of the Swans and Dolphins belong to the Queen? What the fuck rule is that?
That's the most random
what?
shit.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
over here
ask
looking
me.
at my 10 facts list.
Well, how can they
sorry.
own the water? It's God's water.
Thanks to a rule that dates back to the 1300s, Her Majesty technically owns all the sturgeons, whales, and dolphins in the waters around the UK.
No, you
super
don't.
misleading fact.
No, you
And
don't.
Listen,
No, you don't.
England. Okay, I'm
You
here to
can't own
I'm
the
here
fish,
to fucking
bitch.
tell you right now. You
own
don't
the fish.
listen. You don't put a red coat on a dolphin and let's see what happens. You don't own the dolphins or the
God's water.
sturgeons.
In
You
free
own the water.
water?
Are you
You don't own the
kidding me?
water.
That's like some Hunger Games bullshit. Oh, you can't hunt. That's the Queen's deer.
And the Queen's dead, technically.
Not only
Just to
that,
kick
okay,
my
okay.
ass.
These are all migratory animals, creatures, whatever you want to call it.
They're
That ain't the
moving
same
when they need
that ain't
to
the same
move.
fucking whale that was there fucking 600 years ago. Come on.
The audacity of these British.
That's a new level of arrogance if I've ever
That's
seen. some
what
shit.
What the frick? I'm gonna create.
Hey,
We are creating a wacky sports team.
Charles,
We're coming over to
dude,
Europe and we're
hey.
gonna dominate everything.
No,
from
find-
extreme
find-
ironing all the way to
no.
utilize.
You're visiting the UK and you're going to some random lake or pond and you're petting this goddamn dolphin and you got the
Jeff will
goddamn
laugh.
you got the police. What do you call them? over
Was
there?
he got a fucking
A little
U
pond
tattoo
and
on
shit?
him or something?
Hey, buddy, what
Hey
are you
there.
doing? I'm petting a
Hey
goddamn
there, miss.
bitch.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's illegal.
I
How?
would, I
Find
would
a
like
Facebook
to buy
group.
some strawberry cake.
What the fuck? You
Here's
telling
the
me I
thing.
can't pet a
I'm sorry, I didn't
whale?
mean to interrupt
We-
that beforehand, Patrick. That was just too wild. I'm sorry.
Charles, we need to find a Facebook group that still believes in this, and then we just all 3 of us are just gonna do hashtag free the dolphins, hashtag free the whales,
Oh,
hashtag
You-
There's
you
our
can't
shirt
own
ideas.
them.
There's our shirt ideas. Hashtag free the dolphins from British royalty.
yes, there you go.
You don't own the waters, bitch.
You heard it here first, folks.
You're telling me
British
the
Crown is
UK
trying to claim-
the water touching UK.
Yeah.
They own all the fucking sea creatures.
Basically, is what he
the
said.
sturgeons, the whales, and the dolphins in the waters in the UK. And it's even too why Queen Elizabeth owns all the dolphins. Y'all out
Queen
your
Elizabeth
fucking
is
mind.
dead. It's King, whatever his
Now
name
it's King
is.
Charles, I believe.
I don't know, dipshit that killed Princess Diana.
Yeah.
That's not allegedly. I'm
Yeah.
saying that he did it.
Yeah. They just all over the place over there. This is
All
just,
over?
You're
Leave it.
owning
Leave it.
dolphins and whales?
How do you? Okay, so I get it. In the 1300s, I get that.
You
Like-
thought they
the
stayed
cure,
put? Like they don't go anywhere?
The cure in the 1300s was you go home drinking some alcohol to get the ghost out of your blood. So I
Yeah,
understand
sure.
why people would go, "Oh yeah, cool, you own the dolphins." But today,
It's 2024.
today, you mean British Parliament couldn't take up an action that went, "Listen, you don't own the fucking dolphins. Get out of here."
Listen, they're not the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't own the Dolphins.
Oh, I've got an
So-
argument. Yeah, I've got an argument. Check this out. You're right. I see what you did there. That was awesome. I got an argument. As long as the Queen owns them, poaching can't happen. Poaching can't fucking happen anyways. It's illegal around the world, actually. Like the whole world, you can't poach. In the whole fucking world, you can't poach.
Right,
You
they
don't
just
need
have-
to have a red coat on to not poach.
Right, they just have a whale season in Japan. Different whales. Different.
Yeah, yeah,
not
they're
your
different
whales,
whales.
UK. Not yours.
Not yours.
Japan's
Not yours.
whales.
But they could
Yeah.
be because they migrate. So
Yeah,
those whales could be her whales or his whales now.
All
Why
I can
don't
think
they?
of
Why
right
don't
now-
they? Do you think they Do they tag the whales? This was a great fun fact. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but it turned out
Do
to
they
be
tag
awesome.
them like they do the lobsters?
That's what, yeah. Are the queens whales and sturgeons
Who's
and
going
dolphins
down there
tagged?
tagging these motherfuckers?
Is there a specific tagging boat? Let's look
They've
this up real
got,
quick.
they've got the SEAL Team 6 down there for freaking UK, freaking tagging and tattooing whales and dolphins.
who's
British
out
whaling
there tagging
tag
whales?
boat. British whaling tag boat. We're just going to see what
He's
the
gonna
AI
have the
has to say.
craziest, like, he's gonna bing away and he's gonna donate that money to hashtag save the whales.
The British southern whale fishery was a significant industry involving whaling voyages concluded by the ships
I got it.
in the seas between 1775 and 1861. British were involved in several types of whale slaying for approximately 350 years until the early 1960s. You conceited fox.
So they did it to protect them and then also hunt them.
The northern whale fishery lasted from 1610 to 1914. Then the southern whale fishery lasted from 1775 to 1861, while the modern whaling fishing trade went from 1904 to 1963, whaling using more advanced methods. So they were out there with sonars, hunting them down, shooting them in the fucking face. Yeah, well done, Britain.
This is why nobody likes you guys.
This is almost, yeah, that and you've owned the whole world at one point. We're all just sick of you. Go drink your tea.
Let's not even be. They can have those dolphins, dude.
Yeah.
Look up the dolphins that live in the UK coastline. Those are some ugly ass dolphins. They can have those dolphins.
Yeah, I get why.
They're the stepchild.
Yeah, they're like the ugly stepchild dolphins. They're not
They're
the bottlenose like we see.
They're not the Florida Dolphins.
Are British dolphins smarter than the rest? We're digging deep right now. Dolphins are indeed their intelligence. Yeah, I get it's illegal to talk to dolphins.
Yeah, you told
What are you
me
going
this.
to talk to them about?
Yeah, you can't have a conversation
Tell
with
them
dolphins.
secrets.
It's illegal.
Can't tell them secrets. Maybe that's why the UK
Yeah,
Morse
hold on.
code with the dolphins.
Speaking of dolphins, a few years ago we went on a cruise. I think this was when right before I got super sick. We went on a cruise for my mother-in-law's anniversary, and we at the stop that we were going on a cruise in Mexico, you could see the dolphins and whatnot. And we went to go see the dolphins, and Olivia
I guess
was
there's no specific law.
4 years old. Her and her cousin were like super excited to go play with these fucking dolphins. Guess what happened with these dolphins? They never got in the fucking water because they were scared that they were going to get eaten by the dolphins. So we paid $150 for them to cry and not play with the dolphins.
I had a similar thing
I hear
happen. So we had those recent tornadoes and shit that cut through here, right? And so my wife, I love her so much.
Oh, you start this conversation.
So she every once in a while during tornado season, my little storm chaser comes out, and I just want to go see him so bad. And she goes to let the dogs out just before the storm, and she comes back in, and she's, oh my god, oh, it's lightning everywhere on both sides.
Oh my God.
She walks out the front door, and the fucking siren for a tornado goes off, and yeah, I swear to God, she saw a fucking ghost. And after everything was over, I was looking at her smiling, and she, what? I said, so we aren't chasing storms no more. She goes, I don't know. Maybe. It's like, it's scary as fuck being in that situation. Do I want to fight a bear in the woods? Hell no. But do I think I would win? Of course. Why? Because it's either me or the bear. And one way or another, I don't care.
I seen this
50-50.
video. I seen this video. They said, listen, for $1 million a year, you got to fight one of these two animals every time to get this $1 million every year. The same day, every year. You got to fight this one of these.
But if you can prepare for it, then
But it's saying, would you rather fight 10 chickens or a lion?
Oh, 10 chickens.
So it was a group panel of 2 guys and 2 girls. One guy and the girl were married, right? The 2 guys said, "I'm fighting the goddamn chickens. This is like the easiest answer in the world." She said, "Oh, I'm definitely fighting the lion." They were like, "What? What would me? Oh, I could prepare. what can you possibly be prepared for a lion?
You're not a gladiator.
You got a rocky social media following
I
running
was,
upstairs.
I was thinking you were gonna say like a bear or something like that. I'd be like, yeah, you could probably figure out how to defend yourself.
You
against a bear.
can't do anything against a lion.
Do you know?
And then if you're fighting the female lion, the lioness, which are the hunters, more so than the male lions, they're gonna eat you where you stand.
4 seconds.
And they will.
Faster than Aaron Rodgers playing for
And
the
this,
Jets.
they plot. They slowly plot
moves.
on how they're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
What you can prepare all your life, you're gonna die.
The
Every
whole
single
year,
time.
you could prepare. That lion's gonna look at you, and in 5 seconds, no,
You're done.
You ain't got nothing. And on the 10th second, you ain't nothing left.
You can wear armor like in the medieval times, but the cat's gonna find a way to open you up like a tuna can.
That might delay the inevitable for 45
like
seconds.
I said, it's gonna open you up like a tuna can. They'll find it.
Since we're on the topic, there is a thought that generally lives rent-free in my mind, and I don't know why I think about it so often, but when I do, I go deep and laugh. But the thought of how many waves of second graders could you fight with every 5th wave being a 5th grader? I've
Like
honestly,
at this point in my life right now,
Yeah,
I'm
so,
not
like-
making it past the first wave of second graders.
oh yeah, no, I'm still there. I've like 5 years ago, 30, 40 rounds easy before I got tired.
Right here, right now.
Right here,
I
right
might
now.
give you 2 waves.
I
Hey,
can
not
get
if
to the
it's-
first 5th grader. I'm pretty sure I can get to the first 5th grader. We'll
have you seen second graders nowadays?
I
yeah,
don't know.
oh yeah, they're on
I don't
Common
know.
Core math.
Yeah,
I'll be
but-
fine.
500, but how many are you talking about in a wave? I'm
we
talking
doing
about
a
4 or 5.
classroom? A
You might be
classroom
okay.
No, I'm thinking a wave would have to be 10 or more.
I don't know. They grab a hold of your legs and shit and start biting you. You're fucked.
Yeah, you punch the first one in the face, and the rest of them think about what the fuck's about to happen.
I don't know.
All right,
Now,
let's
that's
just
a
get that
wave.
straight.
You know,
Real.
there's more coming. I think they're gonna keep on.
The second
they're gonna
graders
keep
down
on
here in
keeping on.
Texas, you
Yeah.
can punch them. They're still coming for
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
assholes.
Bring the whole wave. Bring the whole wave. That's what I'm saying.
Charles-
I can make it.
Charles is
I can
thinking
make it
about
to the
British. He's
This-
thinking about redcoats coming after him.
this is. I'm telling you right now.
That sounded really bad about get punching children and stuff. But okay, we'll just say that.
I started this with saying I don't know why it's up there, but
I'm
it lists
telling you
rent
right
free
now.
too often.
You watch too many of those YouTube videos where they put you up against 500. It was an AK versus 500 squirrels or something,
Yeah.
and see who wins the war.
I commend your optimism and bravery and intuitiveness of thinking
Yeah.
you can mollywop these second graders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
However,
thinking I can log leg at least 3
I
of
give
them.
him. I give Charles if it's 5, I give him 15,
If
20
it's
waves
5 second
before he
graders,
gets tired.
cool.
You know,
But if we're talking about like a classroom worth of second graders, like 20 to 25,
he said 5. He said 10.
He said 10 or more. So
Yeah.
that means it's increasing.
Well,
each
it's got to.
wave.
Yeah, it's got to progressively get more as the waves come.
I
You got to give them a chance.
I can make it through 10. There's no way in hell I'm making it through
Give him a
15.
chance. So it
Listen,
starts out. We'll
you're-
start off with
you're-
5.
You're out. If we're starting off
5
with
second
second
graders.
graders,
I'm
and then
rolling
it
through.
goes 5 each
Yeah.
wave, and
Yeah.
then every fifth, 5, 10, 15, 20, there's this big ass 5th grader waiting for me. If
Yeah.
they're Olivia's size, cool.
Yeah.
But if they're like 5'8", 180-pound 5th grader, I'm fucked in the first wave.
I want the cream of the crop every time.
But
Yeah,
you
I want
ready-
the cream
you-
of the crop every time. You don't send me no fucking chicken
I don't-
wing.
You ready?
Don't send me
want-
no fucking
Don't
chicken wing.
send me baby Grunt in the 5th wave because he's gonna. No.
I
Are
want to
you
look
ready?
up and go. Let's do this, motherfucker.
You gotta get ready. Get ready for this. This is how it's gonna go down.
Welcome everybody to the championship round. We've got Charles rolling in against 1,000 second graders.
I'm telling you right now, I do okay. I would make it to the.
If it starts with 5
Yeah.
second graders in the first wave and increments of 5
Yeah.
add on, I could possibly make it to the first 5th grader.
Yeah.
Anything after that,
Let's-
I'm
here's-
praying. I'm doing the Hail Mary.
I've created one
They're keeping
stipulation.
coming, yeah.
Yeah, I've created one stipulation. I would do this under one stipulation.
I'm wearing
Those
cuffs.
you're sending must watch what I'm currently doing to the others.
That has to be that.
Monitor in the back room.
Hey, I want to see what's coming.
I want them to know. I want them to know that I know they're coming. I don't want no unknown. I don't want no unknown. I want to be looking at the camera, going, "You're next."
What I did to him?
While you're holding kids in the air.
Okay, I understand that this got real dark real quick, and we love children.
It's okay.
This is
We
a
are
pure hypothetical
comedy podcast. I can't wait for AI to pick this up.
We're all wearing pads. Nobody's gonna
Don't go over 2 hours so we can pull some.
I know, that's what I said. We needed to get there. It was 148. I figured we'd throw a little juice in this bitch. Some sizzle pork and style.
All right. We've got 5 minutes to go around the table. 1, 2, 3, go, Charles. How many rounds off the top of your head are you making it against the second graders?
Okay, with the consecutive 5 added to it, 1 fifth grader the first round, 5 rounds, and then on round 10 you would receive 2 fifth graders. I could comfortably make it to round 15 before I needed to eat my lunch.
Paul?
At this current state of my body, at the stipulation that Charles has put out into play.
Remember the video monitor.
The fear is going to add to it, bro. I'm telling you, they ain't going to come running round
They're
2.
watching me drag these beautiful children through the football field. Each round, I'm probably making it to the second.
Maybe we'll call them miniature Nazis or something.
Clones,
right?
little
Clones.
clones.
Clones. It doesn't have to be
fighting
real, but
clones
yeah.
that are
Second grade size human beings and a 5th grade
yeah.
size human being.
So if I'm fighting 3'8" humans, 5 increments through rounds, and then 5th grade size midgets, or
yeah. In the 90s, I was okay. I don't know. It's fine today.
I'm probably making it to the second round of 5th grade midgets, and that's probably where I fall.
So you're going like 20
10 rounds.
then.
I'm going 10 rounds.
10.
And 10 total rounds, and that
Ooh,
second,
I did not.
That
do we get to
second
work?
round of 5th graders where I have to fight 2 midgets, I think my body's probably going to cave in.
No weapons, but you are allowed to wear.
I'm wearing a cup. You're not
I'm wearing
getting
a
my
cup.
boys.
Yeah.
You're allowed to wear
Just a
anything to
little
protect the old man jewels. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
wearing a cup.
Gotta
Yeah, I'm
have
wearing a
those.
6 or 7 times a year, this thought creeps into my mind.
6 or 7 times a year.
6 or 7 times a year.
I'm
easily.
with Paul. I'm like, I can make that first initial wave and get to the 5th graders. Then I'm like, I am fat. I am chubby. What's going to be my downfall is not my physical strength. It's going to be my endurance. It's going to get me.
This is the thing. You think about it.
Me.
So you got the first 4 rounds, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Now
right?
we're going to all be thinking about this shit because Paul's definitely thinking about it now.
Then the 5th round is a midget, a 5th
Yeah.
grade midget, right?
Yeah.
all
And then
right,
round
all right.
6 is 25, 30, 35, 40,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
250. I'm
Check.
fucking booked.
I know, but check this out. Here we go. Check this out. The first couple rounds, while they're watching the monitor, they're like, "Oh yeah, they just didn't have it." But when that group watches you
you
knock
think
out
the-
25 to get
So
to
you
the
think
other one,
groups
they're
start-
like,
the people start walking away and the groups get smaller. Is that what you're hoping? And by the end, it's just you and the 2 5th grade midgets going at it, fisticuffs. Come on, old man, bring it.
and it would end faster than Aaron Rodgers' New York Jets career. I'm telling you.
I don't.
You're
listen,
going
I don't
down
know.
like a
I don't
freaking
know.
sack of potatoes.
Listen. I applaud your confidence, but I'm telling you right now, you're not making it past
Listen.
20, 25 kids at the same.
Do you know what song is rolling through my mind while this is happening?
No, I want to hear it though.
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If
I'm
you
sorry.
need me, call me. No matter
You're
where
telling
you
me you're
are,
gonna make
no
it
matter how far, don't
5,
worry,
10,
baby.
15, 20. 1 midget.
Yeah.
20, 25, 30.
1 minute, 1 midget, 2 midget, 3 midget, stereo, fucking boom,
5,
boom,
10,
boom, boom,
15,
boom.
20, midget. 25, 30, 35, 40, midget.
Yeah.
45, 50, 55, 60, 3 midgets.
Yeah.
You're
5th grade
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Grade midgets.
Yeah. When
Come
you
on,
start
5th
putting the
grade
math
midget.
out there, it sounds a little, but I think
Charles
once
says
I've
it's
made it
falling
to
off.
round 7, there's no quit. I've made it to round 7.
Yeah.
I'm just telling my wife, just make sure that the cremation
All right.
person is ready. 'Cause I'm dead.
Every person out there who makes it this far in the podcast episode, video, Spotify, whatever, our YouTube pages with the Heat Check podcast, please comment and tell us how many levels,
how many waves,
second graders, how many waves of second graders you can
sized human beings.
Yes, because we've got Charles going for double-digit numbers, to 20
17.
plus, 17 rounds. Me and Paul we're kicking the bucket at probably 10.
If I make it there.
If we make it there.
Hey, Maze
tells no lies.
Maze, men's mental health awareness. Just remember here at the show, we love you more.